Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Canal Algérie's Midnight 30 Bulletin. To the headlines. Army General Saïd Chingrihad, Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, highlights the depth of the relations binding the brotherly peoples of Algeria and Libya while receiving in audience Army General Mohammed Ali Al-Haddad, Chief of the General Staff of the Libyan National Unity Government. The Minister of Interior, Local Collectivities and Territorial Planning, Brahim Murad, on a visit to Ledjalal, where he inspects many development projects in the province. Algerie Telecom staff are mobilized to offer high-speed internet connection even in the most remote regions in the country. Case in point, Borj Beji Mukhtar province. Moroccans continue protesting and demanding their most legitimate rights. This time the youth and women take to the streets to make their voices heard, while ex-BFM TV journalist Rachid Mbarki expected to be heard by the French Parliament Investigating Committee. And we end with the Algerian victory in the third and hardest round of Algeria's cycling tour, Boussaada Biska. Good evening, those are tonight's headlines. First in our news, the General of the Army, Saïd Chingrihad, Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, received an audience at the headquarters of the National People's Army. The General of the Army, Mohammed Ali Al-Haddad, Chief of the General Staff of the Libyan National Unity Government. More details with Manal Ammari.
The welcoming ceremony kicked off with the salute of the national flag, followed by a military salute presented to the guests by a military formation representing the different forces of the National People's Army. The General Secretary of the National Defense Ministry, commanders of the forces, the commander of the National Gendarmerie, heads of departments, central directors of the High Command of the National People's Army and the National Defense Ministry, as well as members of the Libyan delegation, were present at this meeting. On this occasion, the Army General Saïd Chingrihad, Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, delivered a keynote speech at the beginning, during which he welcomed the visiting delegation. Then he affirmed that the mutual exchange of visits between the officials of the two countries has always been an opportunity to exchange points of views and inquire on the status of cooperation between the two countries, as well as examining the ways of its development and its consolidation. Within this context, the Army General saluted the efforts made by the two parties in order to preserve historic and bilateral relations, uniting our countries, namely in light of the sensitive economic situation our region is going through. The General of the Army, Saïd Chingrihad, Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, also emphasized that the depth of the fraternal links between the two countries, as well as our common history and the support of the Libyan people during the Algerian Liberation Revolution, requires them as officials in the two countries to work together to resolve crises that undermine the region's security and stability, especially regarding contributing to set up political, diplomatic and security mechanisms in order to adhere to peace approaches that are in the interest of the people of the region and opening a path for development and prosperity. A vision which joins the principles of Algeria's foreign policy, in accordance with the international charters of the United Nations, the African Union, and the Arab League, primarily based on the good neighborliness policy and focused on multidimensional cooperation in favor of development of the people, supporting the right to self-determination, non-interference in the internal affairs of countries, the peaceful resolution of conflicts. For his part, Army General Mohammed Ali Al-Haddad, Chief of the General Staff of the Libyan National Unity Government, stated that the fraternal relations linking Algeria and Libya are very profound. And just as Libya supported Algeria and its people during their fight against French colonialism, Since our two countries have outstanding historic links, reflected at the level of military cooperation between their armies. At the end, the two parties exchanged symbolic gifts. Afterwards, Army General Muhammad Ali al-Haddad signed the guest book of the High Command of the National People's Army.
Implementing the commitments of the President of the Republic to ensure decent income to citizens through the revision of the guaranteed minimum wage. Nearly 8 million people will benefit from the re-evaluation of wages and retirement pensions starting this month. In anticipation of these wages increase, Algérie Post has introduced liquidity guarantee measures by expanding the network of automatic dispensers, mobilizing all human resources at the post offices to reduce interruptions and strengthening the electronic payment system. The Minister of Interior, Local Collectivities and Territory Planning, Brahim Marad, paid a working visit to the province of Ouled Jalal. On site, the minister inspected various development projects in many fields, namely agriculture, covered by Rida Tibermasin, commented by Rania Al-Bahri.
During his working visit to Ouled Jalal, which was recently promoted to the rank of province, the Interior Minister Brahim Marad inspected various housing projects and industrial units, and highlighted the objective of creating these new provinces. It's a promising province in view of the potential it has, particularly in terms of agriculture and the well-known sheep breed and activity of its citizens, which should be preserved. It's also rich in its palm trees and its underground water. It has also a competent human resource. Its investors and producers have a great desire to make Ouled Jalal a pioneer province in terms of production. All the criteria are therefore met to live up to our expectations. The Interior Minister also inspected the construction project for 200 AADL-type housing units and another housing project of the public rental type. In Dusan municipality, Marad visited a dairy and recalled the need to increase its production to meet the needs, especially during the holy month of Ramadan. Later on, the minister proceeded to the inauguration of the administrative district, which brings together the directions of various ministerial departments. We are here at the level of the administrative district, which was inaugurated on Thursday. All the directions are gathered here to meet the needs of the citizens. Ouled Jalal has been promoted to the rank of province, so that the decision-making center is close to citizens and takes charge of their concerns. This province has all the capacities to contribute to the food security of the country. It's rich in natural, agricultural and industrial resources, and it is working towards the development of the national economy.
Housing units of Boj Beji Mukhtar benefited from the optical fiber network as part of Algérie Telecom's operations to offer high-speed internet even in the most remote regions in the country. Mina Al-Araj, Sabrin Tifriginit.
The fiber to the home has reached Boj Beji Mukhtar province. Feisty to provide the new services to its customers, Algérie Telecom is expanding its connection operation with optical fiber network type FTTH in the southern part of the country, providing it with the new service which is reaching its 70%. We divided this operation into 3 work sites, 1,200 housing units attributed to a qualified company, 1,800 ones to Algérie Telecom here in Boj Beji Mukhtar, and 500 ones in Timyawin.
في هذه السنة الحمد لله رب العالمين حققنا قفزة نوعية من حيث.
This year we have recorded excellent results concerning the neighborhoods that have been connected to the internet and those that have been benefiting from development and modernization. The project of optical fiber connection reached its 90%.
الأحياء التي سوف تمسها التهيئة وعصرنة الألياف البصرية.
This operation aims to provide all the regions of the country with the same broadband internet, an operation that connects all provinces for a better development process.
On the sidelines of the Energy Congress Sierra Week 2023 in Houston in the United States of America, the Minister of Energy and Mines, Mohamed Arqab, held talks with Claudio Descalzi, the CEO of the Italian company Eni, as well as the Director General of the European Commission for Energy. The discussions revolved around the relations between Sonatrach and Eni in the field of hydrocarbons and the investments to potentially raise the production of natural gas, as well as other cooperation opportunities in renewable energies. During the discussion with the Director General of the European Commission for Energy, the Minister of Energy discussed the relations between Algeria and the European Union in the field of energy and renewable energies. In order to enable the citizen to receive correct information only and to bring the journalists closer to the communication representatives in the provinces and municipalities, the Minister of Communication, Mohamed Bouslimani, continues his supervision on the training courses on institutional communication through different provinces. From Tlemcen, Bouslimani stressed that the training of journalists is not a choice but an urgent necessity, stressing the full support to the process of training in the light of transformations in the profession, which require an upgrade in the performance in order to keep pace with the development of the new Algeria and the world of digitization and artificial intelligence. As part of the celebrations of the International Women's Day, the Minister of National Solidarity, Family and Women's Affairs, Kautar Kriku, visited the Military Polytechnic School, Abdurrahman Talib, in the 1st Military Region, where she was received by the Major General and the school commander, in addition to executives of the school. During the visit, the minister praised the important place women occupy in the military institution. To Mila province, where production factories in Tajnant and Tlarma are exporting PVC polyvinyl chloride tubes to Turkey, Italy, and Mauritania and other countries, a product highly in demand in the international market, as we will see with Sabrine Tafrganit in this upcoming story.
In the construction field, highly demanded products such as PVC and steel pole are now not only produced in Algeria but exported too. We visited 2 production factories in Tajnant and Tlarma in Mila province, where both units are exporting and increasing this operation internationally, touching several countries like Libya and Mauritania. Our Libyan brothers contacted us and we were able to conclude a contract with them for $180,000. We are planning for another operation amid this year that would surpass $200,000. Our latest news and updates is that our product is in the Mauritanian market now due to an exportation operation affected 2 weeks ago.
والحمد لله. عندنا تقريبا 14 مصدر بالنسبة للسنة 2023.
We have 14 companies that are exporting their products like polyester fiber and agricultural products like wild onions, dates, pumpkin and raw leather, matching the exportation's demands. The countries concerned by it this year are Italy, China, Turkey and Mauritania. A strategy that aims to increase exportation process of non-hydrocarbon goods, which will upgrade and enhance the country's economic development.
Protests continue in Morocco. Moroccan women take to the streets to make their voices heard and to demand from the government their most basic rights, like all Moroccans that keep denouncing the exclusion and the unbearable living conditions. Details with Anya Al-Bahri.
Moroccans took to the streets in all the major cities on a daily basis to denounce the high cost of living, unemployment and social inequalities. This time, Moroccan women took to the streets to denounce the unequal policy of the Makhzen. On International Women's Day, it's such shame that on a day where women are supposed to celebrate each other, we have to go out and fight for our rights, since we are oppressed and we get beat up for demanding our basic rights. On the occasion of International Women's Day, the Moroccan Human Rights Association and the National Coordination of University Graduates organized a major demonstration for the respect, defense and promotion of human rights, particularly women. Today is International Women's Day and we are continuing our struggle, and instead of being honored and recognized on this day, we are getting beat up in the streets of Rabat. Unemployment among women has increased in Morocco. Moroccan women are therefore obliged to fight for their rights in a country where insecurity reigns, even if the constitution prohibits discrimination, especially since the criminal code doesn't ensure their protection.
The ex-journalist of the news channel BFM TV, Rashid Mbarki, recently fired for airing false and oriented information to serve the interests of Al-Makhzen regime, will soon be heard by the French Parliamentary Investigation Committee related to financial, political and economic interference by a foreign power. And we end with sports, precisely Algeria's cycling tour, where the Algerian Youssef Reguigui won in the third step, Boussaada Biskra, which is the longest so far, where he snatched the green jersey, winning the best speed cyclist. With these beautiful views, we end tonight's bulletin. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.